friends. I love the spring season, the warm temperatures, and being outside in the sun. And I love planting flowers and veggies in my garden. It's so satisfying to dig in the dirt, planting, cultivating, and watching the growth as the plants mature and bear fruit. Every time I work in the garden, I am reminded of God's work of planting, cultivating, and causing growth in my heart and in my life. E.M. Bounds, in one of his books on prayer, said, "Promise is like the unsown seed, the germ of life in it, but the soil and culture of prayer are necessary to germinate and culture the seed." God's word is filled with promises, but each promise is a seed that hasn't been sown yet. A seed that's not planted is useless. It has life within it, but until it's planted in good soil, it will not grow and bear fruit. So we need to take the promises of God's word and the promises he speaks to us individually and plant them in the good, faith-filled soil of our hearts and water them with prayer. What are some practical ways that we can plant God's promises in our hearts? When God speaks a promise to us through his word and by his spirit, we can meditate on it, write it down, declare it daily, and pray into the promise, thanking God for it, even before we see it bear fruit. Galatians 6:8 says, "He who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life." In Isaiah 55:11, God tells us, "In the same way, the promise that I make does not return to me, having accomplished nothing. No, it is realized as I desire and is fulfilled as I intend." So our part is to plant the promise in our heart as a seed and then water it with prayer. God's part is to cultivate and grow the seed so it will bear the promised fruit. Let's be intentional with God's promises. He wants to bless us, and he has called us to partner with him to bring about his promises in our lives.